The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Topper! Get it!
Throwing on first down. Sexton. It's caught. Beckett. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll run with Chubb. They stop short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Ricky Seals Jones. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It's 3rd down.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Greedy Williams picks it off. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Off the play fake. Sexton. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
319.
The final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Set up. 18 Gator.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Recon 132 fighter.
And again, it's Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
Hey, high 7. On Lee Griffin.
Throwing on third and long. Sexton. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Rip right.
Snap.
A toss play to Chubb. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just don't.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
26.
Let's bring it.
Check 52.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And it's fielded at the 34. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10.
At their own 48-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
At the 47-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's go, baby. Turn it over. Get that. Let's go.
2nd and 11. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go. 90 Wolf.
Come on. You better bring it.
Shoot.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Get it.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Okay, ready?
Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
Right. Hey, Delta.
47.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Sexton. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
We want it. Come to my world.
To throw is Rodgers. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
319.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Malik Jefferson.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back. But it's still a 3rd and 8.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
They'll run it with Jones. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now Chubb on first down, able to work his way forward for about 5. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Coming this way, here we go.
Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Chubb. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here's Seibert for the Browns field goal. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Seibert able to knock this one through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 24-yard line.
Let us! 319! Jump out!
I'm scared.
From the 24, Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And out across midfield down to the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 32. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help soft this one away. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Cleveland, they can